What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Cody for this Wnba showdown slate on Wednesday night. 10K to first. The Caitlin Clark effect is in full effect. Usually start with a look back at my lineup, but it is absolutely not necessary tonight. I played Kalani Brown after we got news that she was starting, and she picked up 2 fouls in a minute and a half, and Big T proceeded to come in and absolutely smash. Already was tilted there. Then Kalani Brown comes back out late in the second quarter and picks up a offensive foul immediately, plays 4 minutes in the first half, absolutely just chunks my lineup, which, as if it wasn't already in shambles with Suarez getting benched almost immediately. I don't know, Coach Trammell, not a fan. Apparently this is just something we're going to have to get used to. It sucks. Usually she plays her starters massive run, but last game we saw it with Maddie get limited. She wasn't playing well. Tonight, Stephanie Suarez, it's musical chairs. Whoever comes in and is doing half decent is going to get extended there. It's something we'll have to keep in mind going forward with them on the slate. But let's look at the odds for the showdown slate tomorrow night, and then we'll break down some pricing. Fever at the Storm, currently 5-point spread, over under 165.5. Let's start on the Indiana side. Clark, obviously their go-to weapon on offense, had a little injury scare, but she's got a tape job and maybe some of that good drugs in her system. Didn't do much in the second half. She was doing more at the end of the game than she did for the entirety of the third quarter almost. Obviously lost a few minutes. They didn't bring her back right before halftime. I would expect her to play 33 to 35 minutes in a close game. It's worth noting that this is going to be her first test of not an elite defender Gardner. Obviously Connecticut, you got Dejanay Carrington follows her around. The Liberty put Benaj on her. I don't know who Seattle's planning on putting on her, but if it's Skylar Diggins-Smith, she is going to cook her. We'll see what they do. Obviously, fantastic play up top. Leah Boston, she's consistent, I guess, at 26 or 27 fantasy points a night. I'm still not impressed with what I've seen from her. They started doing what I figured they would do from the start on offense. She has a lot more upside, but she hasn't shown it. So, tournament play, not someone I'm rushing to get into a lineup. Same thing with Nalissa Smith. Her minutes went back up to 27, but they could easily drip right back down to 22. She's going to be out there. She's going to shoot it. Her lowest field goal attempts, actually, no. She had 2 for 6 or 3 for 7. That's not great. She has potential, but she also is lazy and can get benched. And the person we're going to talk about shortly has been playing very well. I'm fine with Nalissa. It's a showdown. You're going to have to figure out ways to get different. And I think the Indiana Bigs have a good matchup here. Everyone is smashed against Seattle. I mean, you look at Alana Smith. Everybody. Alana Smith nuked against Seattle both games. You look at Stewie. JJ had a down game. Dolson didn't really do much against him. But, I mean, look at what Aaliyah Edwards did. Her only start, and she absolutely smashed. Kelsey Mitchell, seeing a lot more playing time. She looked really, really good. I was impressed with how she played against Connecticut this last time out. 32 minutes, 16 shot attempts. I was not expecting her to get off as many shots as she has these past 2 games. She is obviously the number 2 on offense. She's the only one besides Clark that can make anything happen on offense. So that's good to see. She is very scoring dependent. She got 5 assists this last game. That's an outlier. That's not her game. She's out there to score, to create her own shot. So she's fine on a showdown slate. She obviously has pop potential if the shot's falling. But let's talk about Wnba. What a revelation. Last 3 games, 20 minutes, 19 minutes, 23 minutes. She was excellent against Connecticut this last time out. Excellent. She plays so hard. Really, really impressed with her. She's going to get 20 minutes a night going forward, in my opinion. They closed with her, Aaliyah Boston, and Nalissa Smith on the floor. So if you look, Fagbinlay closed, Christy Wallace closed, Kelsey Mitchell closed, Aaliyah Boston closed, and Caitlin Clark closed. Look who didn't close. Nalissa Smith. That is very worrisome. That she is not closing in a game that is close. That is extremely concerning. So keep that in mind if you're considering Nalissa. They may not close with her. And she's arguably their third or fourth best player. Love Fagbinlay. Probably, honestly, just a lock play for me. Just at her price. You know her minutes are secure coming off the bench. Wheeler got extended this last time out. Wheeler got extended. We saw Christy Wallace play a lot of minutes. 24 minutes for Wallace, 20 for Wheeler. Katie Lou, 15 minutes. Woof. Wheeler is fine. She's not that great point per minute, but I mean, on a showdown, you're going to have to play a couple cheaper options, and there's not many to choose from if you really get down and start looking at it. A lot of these players are just going to get DNPs, like you're just going to take a 0. Wheeler's fine. I would expect her on an average night to play 14 to 18 minutes. We talked about Katie Lou a little bit. Woof. 15 minutes, 4.5 fantasy points. The peripherals were not there. They haven't been there in 2 games, and the scoring hasn't been there really at all. So, really hard for me to recommend paying $5K for her. Obviously, she has a quick hook if she's not knocking down her shots or playing well. She's kind of been getting abused on defense, so that's something to keep in mind as well. I'd much rather just play Christy Wallace. Her minutes have been pretty secure. This one game where she played 8 minutes, kind of a farce. 17, 15, and 25. I would expect somewhere around 18 a night for her. She's gonna play. She plays really hard, like a lot of the bench players on the Fever. 3 assists, 2 rebounds last game, 8 points. She has some peripheral upside. One of the better value plays, in my opinion. No interest in Grace Berger. Back-to-back DNPs. Lexi Hull. 1 straight DNP. She played here at the very end of that game. No interest in Saxton or Taylor. Neither of them are going to play unless it's just a blowout. On the Seattle side, we are still waiting on news for NECA. It does change the showdown a lot if she doesn't play. She's been their best player when she's playing. Has big upside. Great matchup for her here. Obviously would really like her if she plays. If not, would mean Russell would get the start again. She was abysmal. 34 minutes, 11 fantasy points this last time out. 30 minutes, 16 fantasy points. In her 2 starts, she's played 64 minutes and has 28 fantasy points. That's really bad. Showdown, I mean, obviously she can have a decent game. I couldn't play her even if NECA's out. Lloyd continues to just shoot the ball at an abysmal rate. I don't know what's going on with her. 5 of 17 this last game. She has massive upside when the shot's falling. The usage is there. That's about all I can say. Fantastic tournament play as always. Ezzy has played really well. This last game, she did not look that great. Only 22 fantasy points. But once again, matchup is good. Really don't mind her. Would like her a little bit more if NECA plays. I think that will help her get some attention off of her down low, because no team is ever worried about Mercedes Russell on the offensive end of the floor. Nobody is. Skylar Diggins-Smith, 3 of 13. They actually sat her for a little bit this last game. Obviously, back-to-back. She is older. and they were losing by quite a bit, but I was kind of surprised they didn't bring her back in. Rough game. Got her peripherals have been fine every game. Just waiting for the scoring to come on a little bit. Perfectly fine playing her. Peripherals are there. If the scoring's there, she's going to put up 40. She's got a 40 bomb and a 30. You're fine getting 30 from her here. Whitcomb, just who knows? It's Whitcomb or Horston. They are going to close with one of them. Vivian starts. She played well these past 2 games. Well, it might be a little bit of a stretch, but she played decent. 23 minutes and 19 minutes, 17 fantasy points and 23 fantasy points. That's a good game for her, and they're still not extending her. Horston got the short end of the stick. She wasn't playing very well this last time out. That is concerning. If she's going to come in first, and if she struggles and Whitcomb comes in and plays well, they're going to go with Whitcomb. So good luck guessing on that. It's kind of a theme here. We're finding a lot of players that they're going with hot hands, which is rough for us DFS players. Nika Mule is making her debut on Wednesday night. I don't know how much she's going to play. I wouldn't expect a lot. Maybe a small rotation. Dulcie, no interest. If NECA's out, she might play. She played 9 minutes, scored 1.5 fantasy points. Just not for me. No interest in Williams or Turner. They're just not playing at all. But definitely, Wnba is by far my favorite play on this slate. There's ways to fit pretty much anyone you want to play in. It really just depends which team you're expecting to win, like what game script you want to go off of. I'm expecting a really good game. Looking forward to this game. But as always, if you enjoyed the content, leave a like. It really helps out the channel. Hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you never miss a video, and we'll catch you on the next one.